This is the unit circle. What do both the x and the y values represent at each point on the unit circle? That's right, the x value is equivalent to the cosine value at that point, and the y value is the sine. If you don't believe this, look at what happens when we type in a point with the cosine of a given number, a, represented as the x value, and the sine of the same number represented as the y value. As the number increases, you can see that the point is making the shape of a circle, and as the number reaches 2 pi, the point returns to the spot where it started, just as the unit circle does. Why does it make sense that this makes a circle? To understand this, we can look at the graph of sine and cosine. The graph for sine of x starts at 0 and has a period of 2 pi. The graph for cosine of x starts at 1 and also has a period of 2 pi. Notice that the graph for sine of x is positive from 0 to pi. Notice how the graph for cosine of x is positive from 0 to 1/2 pi and 3/2 pi to 2 pi. If we bring back this idea to the unit circle, the first quadrant from 0 to pi over 2 would be positive for both cosine and sine. In the second quadrant from pi over 2 to pi, the cosine graph would be negative and the sine graph would be positive. In the third quadrant from pi to 3 pi over 2, both graphs were negative and therefore all of the values for the unit circle are negative here. In the fourth quadrant from 3 pi over 2 back to 0 or 2 pi, cosine is positive while sine is negative. Now that hopefully the unit circle makes a little more sense, all that you need to remember are the values for pi over 6, pi over 4, pi over 3, and pi over 2, and remember if cosine and sine are negative or positive for the given quadrant. See ya!